Hello, let's do the New York Times hard Sudoku for June 30th, 2023. Let's hit restart so my time is accurate. All right, I'm seeing two sevens looking in here, so I'm going to do what I call my normal scanning. So I like to start the puzzle off by finding, going through what I call, I'm not the only one who calls them that, but bands and stacks. So a band is three rows that share a box, basically a row of three boxes. A stack is a column of three boxes. And I'm looking for digits that match up, like the sevens. And I'm looking at the box that they aren't in, and then I'm going to corner mark sevens in the only place they can be in that box. So when I corner mark, what that means is within this box, 7 only goes in those two cells. I'll corner mark if it anywhere if it's only two cells, and if it's three cells, I'll only do it if like they all share the same column or row. And what's nice about those is they do indicate pointing, as well as they help you find hidden singles later when one of them gets eliminated. So that's my normal. Now, you also want to look for crossings. So let me see if I find any examples of that. Like this 4 here. This is a perfect example. So you don't want to just say, oh, there's no matching 4. What you want to do is look at 4s in the rest of the grid and see how they affect this band. So this 4 looks over and this 4 looks up, and that does affect this band in that the 4 can only be in one of these two. And that's actually the most powerful one that you can find, where you've eliminated it from these cells and the one of the, like you've eliminated it from one row and one column entirely. And then the rest of another column or row is filled with givens that aren't that digit. And so 4 can only be in these two cells. And so that gives you a non-trivial deduction called pointing, where the rest of this column can't be 4, because if there was a 4 anywhere down here, then there'd be nowhere to put 4 in this box. A more direct way to say that is 4 is up here, so it's not down here, right? So because 4 is not down here, and also 4 is not down here, that actually lets us place this 4. I also noticed this crossing, so actually that does the exact same thing. And you also want to look when you find these crossings to see if there's a buddy, like the 8. So this is really cool because the 4 and the 8 both look in. I don't know, I'm demonstrating my technique and finding amazing things with it. So it doesn't always happen this quickly. But both the 4 and the 8 can't be in any of these cells. There's only 2 cells that the 4 and the 8 can go in this box. So if there's only 2 cells for 2 digits, those 2 digits go in those 2 cells. And I'm going to use center marks to designate that. When I do a center mark, that's cell centric. That means this cell can only be 4 or 8. And it's non-obvious why. The reason is it's called a hidden pair. The reason is because if these were anything other than 4 and 8, then we would break the puzzle because we wouldn't have enough room for both 4 and 8 in this box. So these are a 4-8 pair. Which is also going to be quite useful. The 4 and the 4 match up, putting a 4 down here, and then the 8 and the 8, oops, actually it places the 4, sorry. And then the 8 and the 8 match up, placing an 8 somewhere over here. And that's really nice to mark because I guess 8 can't be here when normally you might think it could be. Now we did get a bunch of 4s, so let's make sure we follow up on 4s here a bit. There's a 4 in one of these two. These 4s look in, so there's a 4 in one of these two. And actually, we just have these 4s and these 4s left to place. And so we're not going to be able to do anything with that yet. But yeah, that's a really good start. I'm noticing this 3 eliminates a bunch from this box, but unfortunately, there's still 3 spots left in the box for 3. We already got the 7 marked. Okay, so what else can we do here? We can look at the next, let's see, did we finish this band? There's nothing else matching up, so we want to look for more crossings, like the 3 maybe. See, this is more typical in what you'll find, which is it didn't do much, but it's always good to look for the crossings. We did the 7s, the 6s. We have these 6s, but this one's not interesting. This one's really not all that interesting either, but it's the kind that you're looking for. Okay, so that's all I see here. I don't see anything else. There's no crossings for the 9. We did the 8 already. Okay, so let's look at these rows now. So we're going to do the same thing. We have 2 6s. We have this 6 crossing as well. So there's a 6 over here. We have 2 2s. So we're going to start with the ones that double up because those are always going to be pencil markable. We have these 2 4s, which we already marked. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the ones that we didn't see, like the 5, and we're going to look for crossings. So we're looking up here and we're looking down here for 5s, but not in the same box. So unfortunately, there are only 2 5s in the grid, so that's not going to be helpful. We got the 2s. How about the 9? No, there's no crossings on the 9 either. Okay. So now we're going to look at this last band here. We're going to do the same thing. First, digits that match up. We're going to do the 1s. This 2 and this 2. This is a crossing that we're looking for because we have these givens that aren't 2 as well. Well, filled digits that aren't 2s. And so 2 is over here, and that is pointing. That points up. This 2 points up with it, and we can place this 2. And now what we want to do is look at the consequences. Oh, this is really nice. So a combination of what we found allows us to place a 2 here. These two 2s look over. There has to be a 2 in this box somewhere. It can't be here because of our hidden 4-8. Our hidden 4-8 is preventing this from being 2. So it lets us place this 2. Now we have a corner mark that we've eliminated. This can no longer be 2. And so now there's only one place in this box for a 2 because we know that just at a glance because there's only one corner mark 2 left in the box. So we just immediately can place a 2 there. So how are our 2s doing? Looks like we have... Okay, we haven't placed them in this box yet, but we can. So these two 2s look down, this 2 looks over. That's a 2. Now we've taken the place of a 1 corner mark. This can't be a 1 anymore because it's a 2. And so now there's only one 1 corner mark left in the box, so we can place the 1. Now we want to follow up on this 2. 2s are actually done now. We have all the 2s. This 1 we want to follow up on if we can. I'm looking up because we already have all these. Okay, and so 1 is in one of these 2. That might be helpful. That's going to point as well. And again, it's because we have so many other cells occupied. That's kind of like a geometric thing. So these ones are going to point over. We do have a couple crossings, but they're not useful ones. So maybe it will come in handy later. Here, this isn't helpful. Okay, so... Wow, okay, so I haven't even finished doing this band yet. Let's finish this band. We have 2 8s, so 8s are down here. The interesting thing we would look for is either another digit that's down in these 3 cells somewhere. It doesn't have to be all 3, just only within these 3, or eliminating this 8 to make this a hidden 4-8. So we'd either have a hidden triple or a hidden pair. But right now I don't see anything like that. Okay, what else matches up? So the 1s we got, the 2s match up, but we have all the 2s. We got the 4, the 3 doesn't, okay, so the 3 we're gonna look for crossings, but I don't see any. We just have the 2 3s in the grid and they don't do anything. The 4s, the 5, okay, so we're gonna look for 5 crossings. Again, there's only 2 5s in the grid, it doesn't help. 6, are there any 6 crossings? There is a 6 crossing here, but there's still 3 places left for 6, so it's not helpful. They make this L turn. So I don't see anything I don't see how to do it. Oh, actually, I do see something with 6s. We would have seen this when we vertically scanned, which we haven't done yet, but I'm seeing it now. So this 6 looking down takes 6 out of this cell. So 6 is over here. Actually, 6 is placed. Very helpful. So now these 2 6s look into this box. This 6 looks in, it places this 6. Very nice. So now we want to follow up on the 6s we placed. Nothing to do in this stack, but in this stack we have these 2 6s. So 6 is in one of these 2. Okay, so the 6s are looking good. Yeah, we have these 6s left, we have these 6s left, and these 6s left, and that's it. Okay. I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but I do see these 2 9s, so I'm gonna mark it. But I should be focusing on this. Should is a strong word. I would like to be focusing on this band. I am noticing that there's only 2 digits left in this box. Whenever you have something like that, it's always useful just to fill the center marks. So this is 3, not 3. This is 5 and 9. It helps to fill the correct center marks. And actually, this 5 looking down tells us. Oh no, we already have a 5. Okay, it helps to get the correct marks, 7 and 9. This 7 looks down, so that's the 9 and that's the 7. There we go. And now that we had those 9s corner marked that I skipped ahead a bit, but that does fill a 9 here. That fills a 4 here and an 8 here. Very nice. I told you if we limited another digit down here, we'd get a triple, and I wasn't lying. I just did the 4 corner mark there. How are 4s doing? They look very close. Yeah, in fact, we just have these 4s left. Okay, so this is going to be a pair for the row, which means this is placeable. The easiest way to find out is just to fill the triple, or just at least look at what the numbers are. Yeah, so 3 looks in, so that's a 3. The remaining 2 digits are 5 and 7. So we just fill those because I was looking up to see if there were any 5, 7, seeing them. But there's not. These are also going to be 2 pairs, so let's just look at what those are. We need a 5 and a 9 here. I'm looking up. Nothing's removing them. And then here we need a 3 and a 7. Again, nothing's seeing those yet. But once they do, we'll see that immediately. Okay, so I have definitely taken care of this band. Now let's look at stacks. So this box is full, so we're always going to have buddies. So what we want to do is find, let's just go through each digit. 2s are done. 3s, we do want to look at geometry and crossovers, but I don't see anything. It's a second chance to find what we should have already found, or maybe a follow-up that we didn't do. 4s, so this 4 is going to have a buddy here, or we have the 4-8 pair already. 5 has a buddy up here. Yep, so 5 is one of these 2. 6s are done. 7s, we have these 2 7s, so 7's in one of those 2. 8s, we just have the, oh, we have these 2. Yeah, we have all the 8s. Okay. And then 9s, there is no 9 buddy. Is there any geometry? This I can mark because we have this 9 here and this 9 here. So 9's in 2 places. This is the least useful of the marks, I think, but it's still useful because it'll let you find the hidden 9 later. But there's no pointing is kind of what I'm saying. No pointing or claiming. So we went through all the digits. Not much to say about that. Let's go to this next stack. I'm looking at 1. I'm looking at 2s. 2s are done. 3s. Not much to do with 3s. 4s are done. 5s. Nothing to do with 5s. 6s. We have them marked already. 7s. Okay, so I noticed this in an interesting way. This is actually a pretty common way to notice this. So I looked at 7s in this stack, and I saw that in this box, it's limited to 2 columns, and in this box, it's limited to 2 columns, and it's the same 2 columns. So we have 2 7s for 2 columns. We don't get more 7s in 2 columns. So this column is going to need a 7, and it's going to have to go in this box, right? So we normally like corner mark 7s here, but in fact, there's only one place. So 7 goes here, and that lets us place this 7 and this 9. So I told you that the 9 was the least useful marking, but it's still worth marking because we immediately got that hidden 9. There's a lot to follow up on here, but actually I want to fill this digit before it hangs there too long. That's a 5. It just finishes the column. But I do want to follow up on some of these. So we got this 9. In fact, this is a triple. But let's look at what we can get. We have these 2 9s here now. So 9's in one of these 2. Whoopsie. But this column needs a 9. Right. So this column still needs a 9, and these 2 9s see these. So actually we can just place the 9 for the column. This is a pair, always worth filling pairs when you see them. 5 and 8 are left. Okay, it's not resolved, but still. We placed a 7. So these 7s look over. This can't be 7 because it's that 7 there. And so we corner mark 7s here, and we notice that 6s and 7s, it's 2 digits corner marked to the same 2 cells. We have found a hidden pair. 2 digits that can only go in the same 2 cells have to go in those 2 cells and nowhere else. Nothing else can go in those cells, I should say. So we have this 6-7 pair, and this is also going to be a pair. 1 and 3, I guess. I'm looking to see if anything sees those. Nope. And I'm always looking, like, I see these 7s lined up, but we already have the 7 placed. I see these 3s lined up. We already have the 3 placed. I'm noticing those things, and I'm hopeful, but a lot of the times the digit's already placed. In this row, we need 1, 3, and 8. And I can tell that without even having to scan, because this has 1, 3 marked in it, and this has 8 marked in it, and there's only 3 cells left. So they are just 1, 3, 8. I'm not seeing anything looking in, though, but I am going to mark it at this point in the puzzle. It'll just make cleaning up faster later. All right, so I actually didn't even finish my stacks yet, but it looks like the puzzle's almost done. So I mean, there's probably not a lot to do with this stack because we already have it mostly cleaned up. But we can look at this box and see what it needs. It needs a 1, which looks like it could really go anywhere. It needs a 4, which we have marked. It needs a 5. There's really not much looking in. The 2, 4, and 8 are already marked in the box. So there's nothing pointing here. So I don't think it's worth looking at. Let's now we're just going to look at restricted rows, columns, and boxes. Like this box has 3 open digits. It's 1, 3, and 8. This sees 1 and 8, so it has to be a 3. That's going to be the most fruitful thing to find at this point in the puzzle when you have so many digits filled and so many restricted cells. There's going to be naked singles all over the place. Everywhere you look, a naked single. This is a 1-8 pair. That tells me this can't be 1, so that places 1 in the box. Also, it tells me this is a single because there's a 1-8 pair here. So there's only 1 digit left, and we are scanning for it. It's a 3. I'm now seeing that that pairs up with this 3, so we can place this 3. And the rest is just smooth sailing. You can solve it however you like. I like to look at restricted cells. We need a 5 and a 9 here, and the 9 sees in. So that's, sorry, that's the 5 and that's the 9. Okay, this is 5 or 8 for the row. 1, 3, 5, 8. Okay, so this box needs a 3, and it's here because this 3 looks down. 3s are actually done now, surprisingly. 1, 5, and 8 here. Could be any of those. Basically every cell I'm gonna fill at this point. If I've looked at it, I'm gonna fill it. We have 6, 7, and something else. 5, 6, 7. So the 5 is taken out of these. So the 5 goes here. And then now we can see from our corner marks that this is going to be the 6 and 7 because this couldn't be the 6. And that gives us all these digits. And the red marks do speed this up by a couple minutes probably. That's a 1. What do I need? An 8. That's good because that finishes those. That's a 4. And then, what is this one? This is a 1. And we need 6 and 9. Very nice. All right. Well, it took 17 minutes, but I feel like I did a deep dive into explanations on that one. So that added considerable time, but I hope that that was beneficial for you. I realized I never really systematically went through and explained exactly how I approach puzzles like this. If you approach it this way, you're going to make very good progress quickly, especially if you don't have to explain it to everyone who's watching. So yeah, I think the instructive solves are more interesting for me and hopefully more interesting for you. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments how you feel. And of course, if you enjoyed this, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.